All right. All right. Well, welcome to Tech Time. This is going to be using masks in Photoshop to hide and reveal. Like I said, in honor of the eclipse, where the moon is going to hide the sun, we're going to show how masks hide and show things in Photoshop. One of the best reasons to use masks are it's one of the very first tools you learn in Photoshop that is a non-destructive way to edit your photo. You've kind of probably learned ways of like saving a file, like version 1, version 2, as ways to kind of revert back to things. Probably maybe even learned about maybe duplicating layers, so you could always go back to that layer. But those are kind of ways that, one, really bulk up the size of your files. So maybe have multiple files. And Photoshop's made a way that you could not destroy the underlying image. The underlying image stays completely the same, and you're able to basically erase some of it, make some of it transparent, make it blend into another, all through masks. Basically what masks are. Concept's a little strange, but once you get it, it makes sense. I always kind of think of like a flashlight or something, because a mask is either black or white or some gradient of gray in between, and you're always like, well, which one hides and which one reveals? And it's like, sometimes it seems backwards because sometimes you're like, well, black should cover, but I just think of like a flashlight. You shine the white light on something, you can see it, turn the flashlight off, everything turns black, you can't see it. So black hides, white shows. And everybody kind of sometimes gets that backwards. Like many things in Photoshop, you flip it around, you do it the wrong way, and you keep learning, and eventually sometimes maybe you remember. Let's see, we'll pull up one of a photo I've got. Make that fill the whole screen. Oh, come on. Screen resolution's it's way off to the side. All right, I've already got a mask on this one. A little unfair because I cheated, because masks sometimes take a lot of time to make, because to do them really, really well, you got to put in the time, and sometimes there's many tools to do it. Any type of selection tool that you could fill with black or white has the ability to make a mask. So the Magic Wand tool is good for masks, quick selection tool, using the Marquee tool to make circles and rectangles and whatnot. But I guess I can kind of show, let's kind of step back a second. I'll make a new layer, we'll just kind of pretend like this is just a nice background picture. Make a new layer, and I'll kind of show you what a mask does. Take like this ellipse tool, I'll hold down shift, so I'm kind of making just a circle, and we'll maybe fill that with yellow, kind of be the sun. And don't have to use the paint bucket tool, but you can. But I think it's like Option Delete. Yeah, Option Delete is fill with the foreground color. That's really good to learn. That'll save you tons of time. So now I have, I'll deselect that. I have a circle, the sun, on its own layer. I can move it around. It's on top of everything. Kind of see like layer 1. That should be good. I'll name it. It'll be the sun. And now say we wanted to erase a little bit of it because we wanted to make the moon. People might think you take the eraser tool and you could erase. And that's fine, you know, it's gone. You can see through it. You know, it's kind of, challenge with that is that those pixels are actually really gone. And the only way to get them back is to go back to the history palette and kind of go back up through the settings and kind of get back to before it erased. And that's fine too if you only have to step back one step. But if you've kind of gone further on, you know, 150 steps down the road, you're like, oh man, I wish I had that little bit left. You can't really do it that easily without, you know, going back through the history palette. This being a yellow circle, you could probably paint it yellow, but like if you took away some of the building here, it'd be pretty much gone forever. So it's not the best way to do that. So we'll go back into my layers. Down here at the bottom, with these fun things, this one with the kind of a rectangle with a black dot in it, that's the mask icon. Don't know exactly why that came up. But you click that, kind of see up here in the layer palette in the sun, you've got like another little box. That's going to be your mask. So you can actually see my buildings have a mask on it already. And much like I was telling you before, you paint with black or somehow you add black to the picture, it will hide what's there, and white will show it. So say we want to do something easy, got like this rectangle, like say I wanted to take like a chunk out of the sun and make kind of, I don't know, look like Pac-Man or something. So I've got this rectangle over the circle, over the sun. I'm gonna fill it, and it's on, I've got the mask layer selected, so I'm gonna fill it with black. It's gonna hide that sun underneath it. So once again, do like edit, fill. And foreground color is black, but you could just change black too. And then boom, it's like gone. That being said, where I saw the fill, there was also the 50% fill, which is good too, so you could do like edit. Because it's still there, it's just hidden. So once again, I go fill, and we'll go like 50% gray. And that should have been 50% transparent.
White, so
Yeah, just because. Oh, did I accidentally hit white?
Yeah, it's not that one.
I got that giant cursor going on. Thanks for seeing that. Otherwise, I was going to boggle my brain to say, why did that happen? I know. Ah, you're right. There, 50% gray. There, see. Yeah, magic. So deselect that now. And
It's not really a color, it's just more like a scale.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's the transparency. So that's why I kind of moved it over the building so you kind of see that it's 50% transparent.
Yellow,
It's
that
Pac-Man.
yellow glare to go over something else. See the yellow still.
Oh yeah. I mean that's good for if you want to be like a highlighter on something, or a lot of times transparency is just kind of fun to play with, anyways. And we could kind of take that mask. Oops, you actually double clicked it. We take the mask, we can throw it in the trash.
Could you make it invisible if you're playing around, or do you have to delete it?
For if you're going to
The
do like,
mask, like you're like, oh, I'm not sure I like this, or.
oh yeah, you could do lots of fun things with masks here. Getting back to the eclipse theme.
I'm sorry.
No. I'll show you. No, we're right on. But instead of that square, I don't know why I did Pac-Man. I should have started this anyways. Oh. See, we're going to make a little eclipse here. So I got a selection inside the circle. Going to go to mask. And it went backwards. Which happens all the time because, like Photoshop, it's a backwards thing. But the quick shift to that is Command-Shift-I. Basically, right now, this is selected, and I want actually the opposite of everything selected. So Command-Shift-I kind of shows that, basically you just got it around the border, not too. It inverted the selection. So now when I hit it, boom, took it out. Oh, you wanted to say about seeing different ways.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
To
can you make that, invisible? Can you turn it?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's one way. The red is the slash. I use that a lot too because that actually shows the mask where it is. That's slash. But you kind of have like your command, your control, your shift, and you kind of just hold them down. Like if I shift click it, I guess it hides it. Yeah, kind of
Okay.
next on it. Then on shift click it. But like control click usually does something too. They all kind of do something. Oh, I guess option click just shows it. And command click, turns this mask into a selection, which is good too. But it's like those kind of corner keys, they'll do something. And I never really know what they do because I never use them enough to do them. But I do know, like if I want to show it or hide it, I know just can't try those three, and one of them is going to probably be the one I want. Kind of going along that same theme, I'll make a copy of my sun layer. And we can move it. And because they're locked together, as I move, the layer, the mask also moves with it. It's kind of nice. I can unlock the mask. So now the mask will move separately. So I kind of make my eclipse kind of seem wherever I want it to be. Just kind of make that little line of them. I can make another one. Just do these real fast. Yeah, we'll go to the mask again. Kind of try to figure out where it makes sense. What's also nice too is I can select both those. I'm going to copy both those two layers now. Move them down here. But see what happened there? I tried to move them, but they weren't connected to the mask. So I will connect them back to their mask. So you get to learn all things. And those two layers are both selected now. The masks are tied together. So I'm going to do like a transform. So I can rotate these. Kind of put the rest of the whole eclipse thing going on. So we've got the whole through the sky. Let's see what that's really kind of mass in a real nutshell. Try to see what other things I wanted to kind of tell you about mass. Oh, making very complicated selections. It's sometimes you could use a color range and whatnot. One thing here, I'm going to group all these together. So I can turn off. One of my little sons fell out of the group. There you go. Kind of like how I made that mask was obviously started out with a picture that looked like this. I was like, oh, well, this is going to be a pretty easy one, I thought. But it turns out there's a lot of white in this image, and the white in the sky didn't give me a lot of contrast to kind of see what I needed to do. So what I did is I made a copy of that layer, and then I took the color range and I just really adjusted the heck out of it. And when I adjusted the heck out of it, I was able to get a lot different color range to happen.
You said you took the color range.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I want a picture that's going to look like really awful like this. So I'm going to take the background color or background layer, make a copy of it, and then I just did, I think it was like a hue saturation, and I just kind of cranked it way up to like Crazyville. But it was a way I kind of saw that, you know, the sky started turning very red and the bottom started turning very blue. And I was like, okay, well, if I could get that differentiation, I should be able to pick a color range for the mask. And it's just like one of those ways to show how color adjustments, you know, you're like, why would I ever want to make something look like that? Well, you sometimes want to make it look like that because I'll kind of show you here too. Like I'll try to select just the sky, so I'll go like, hey, select color range. I'll try to pick just the sky, and it's really hard to kind of get just the sky without getting a bunch of the building in there. But, so cancel, but when you go to one of these ones that has all the color all hyped up like that, you gotta select color range again. It gets a little bit easier. I keep looking there so I kind of keep seeing where some of these things are that I want. Oh, see that one maybe undo. So that was then I hit select. And see, I've missed a bunch of stuff in the sky, but that's okay. Basically, now I know I need to invert it. So I'll invert, throw a mask on it, turn that off, and see. Not so bad. And like what I could do is take the paintbrush. I'm painting with black here. Since I know black is going to hide things, I could just kind of, or what is actually even easier is I'll take the marquee tool and make these big rectangles and just start filling them with black. In the same way too, like kind of how I've lost the side of the building. I don't know if you can kind of tell that too. But I could take the same like rectangle and kind of start filling these with white. It kind of starts giving me the building back. Or hides it. Yeah, backwards, forwards. It's all. You always get that one step to redo. And then kind of I'll take that mask. You know, so now I've made the mask and it's looking kind of good. I'll go kind of make the background, duplicate it again. Oh, this is a good thing to show too. So here I've got, and I'm like, hey, now I could take the mask, I could hold Option, or I think I could just drag the mask. But if you hold Option, it copies it, and I gotta put the mask on the new layer. And that's kind of how you do that a lot of times when you're doing people's hair or something. You just really just make the contrast just crazy, easy to select, because then you could kind of bring it back to the real one, and it kind of looks good. See what else? And I think that is all there is to know about masks, real quick.
So
Any questions? It makes good collages. I was going to see if I've got the file open. I kind of worked on this a little bit. I thought maybe I could kind of get that far up there, but oh, St. Michael's. What's that? Oh, I've already got that open. I forgot which one I did. Oh, probably the eclipse. It wants to know what I want to do. Cancel. But there's kind of showing kind of some of the things you could still do. You know, because I had the background, I was able to put a blue background in it. I was able to shift the color mask over, kind of give this funny little drop shadow, which looks a little funny with the steeple. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. And that is fun with masks. Do you see anything in there that looks like very strange that you're like, how the heck did that happen? I mean, it's the same techniques, but a lot of times it's just how much time do you want to spend. And I think that probably took me, I don't know, an hour or something. And with nobody watching over my shoulder and not trying to explain what I was doing the whole time. That is mess. So I hope you all learned something. You can take the
that's
people
great.
out of everything now. Dangerous.
I like the flashlight idea.
Nah.
It's really great.
Well, I was trying to. It's one of those things too. It's a concept that is. It's really ambiguous. It's like, how do you explain to somebody even what a mask is? It's simple, but it's hard to explain. Like, you know when you see it.
And if you have something that you can revert back to, it's like flashlight. Oh yeah, okay. That's a great visual. No pun intended.
There you go. Well, I tried to play something with the eclipse, but it was like the eclipse actually seemed backwards to me, where it's like the sun is white, but you see it. It's flashlight. And you could always remember flashlight.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Be sure to tell your friends.